How many of you have seen the movie Willy Wonka and the Chocolate Factory? When I was growing up, it was the go-to movie that we would watch in school on days right before a break. So like right before Christmas or spring break. Sometimes I would watch that movie 3 times a year. I loved the beginning. Right after they would go into the chocolate factory after they found their golden tickets. I remember being amazed by the chocolate waterfall and the lollipop flowers and the giant gummy bears hanging from trees and the balls that were just filled with chocolate. The families invited to the factory, they just got to start eating anything and everything that they wanted. Can you imagine for a minute what it would be like if you could eat all the candy you wanted? I would probably eat so much candy that I would get a stomach ache. What about you? When we have candy in small amounts, like 1 sucker or 1 chocolate bar, it's okay. But when we have candy, all the candy we want, we get stomach aches. In a place like the chocolate factory, I would have been really tempted to eat all of the candy. What tempts you? What tempts you? This makes me think of the game Candyland. It's one of the first games I remember playing when I was little. It's fun, it's simple, and it would take you on an adventure through the magically themed candy places just like in the movie. But too much candy and you get stuck. You become stuck, and it's bad for us. You know, today, people all around you and me, they tell us it's okay to do whatever you want to do as long as it makes you happy. If they want to eat too much candy, then they do it. If they want to make a bad choice, then they do it. If they want to make fun of their friends, then they do it. They don't stop to think about what it might be like if they make that bad choice. What if it hurt them? Bad choices sometimes hurt us. In the movie Willy Wonka and the Chocolate Factory, I loved the Oompa Loompas. They were short, they were orange, but they did all the work. And the first time you see them is right after the families enter the factory and begin eating all the candy they want. In fact, one kid falls in the river of candy. He's trying to eat so much. And they sing a song that goes along, I think, with our lesson today. It goes a little something like this. Are you ready? Oompa, oompa, doobity doo. I've got a perfect puzzle for you. Oompa, loompa, doobity dee. If you are wise, you'll listen to me. What do you get when you guzzle down sweets? Eating as much as an elephant eats. What are you at? Getting terribly fat. What do you think will come of that? I don't like the look of it. Oompa, loompa, doobity dee. If you're not greedy, you will go far. Oompa, loompa, doobity doo. You will live in happiness too. greedy, not eating too much candy. See, the kids were eating so much candy and they got sick and in trouble. Oh, reminds me of a story in the Bible or a person in the Bible named Solomon. He was a king who had everything he wanted. If he wanted more cows or more land or more servants, he would just get them. He had everything. What do you think it would be like to have everything you wanted? Ugh. And he, King Solomon, tells us in Proverbs 14:12, there might be a way or a path or a road that looks harmless. But look again, and that path really leads to heartbreak. So we may be going down a path that we think is okay, but it really hurts us. Kind of like temptation, eating too much candy. Whether we like it or not, there is a good and a bad way to live. We make good choices or bad choices. And for us today, candy is the perfect example of this. It doesn't matter if you and me, we think candy is good. If we eat too much, it's gonna end up hurting us. Oh, like a stomach ache. Sin is a lot like that. We are tempted to do things, maybe something that looks like a lot of fun, but that thing turns out to be harmful to us. Maybe we are tempted to take something that is not ours, or we are tempted to sneak into some place that we're not allowed to go, and we might get hurt. Or we're tempted to try something dangerous because it looks fun, but it could end up hurting us. Sometimes when we are tempted to do something that may feel good to us, but it hurts us or someone else. Has anyone here ever been called a name or called someone else a name? Have you ever picked on somebody like your little brother or sister? I used to do that a lot. It's one of those things we try to do that maybe helps us fit in with certain friends, or maybe it makes us feel better, but it's harmful to the other person. Every time I would pick on my sister, it made her feel bad. And sometimes I can't see the harm that comes from this temptation. But God, the one who created all of us, tells us what is good and bad in the Bible. The Bible makes it very clear what is good and what is bad. God wants us to use the Bible, everything that we learn when we read it, to help us choose good over bad. God's not going to make that choice for us. He lets us choose. This week, I challenge you not to give in to temptation, like picking on your brother or not listening to your parents, but instead, do the wise thing. Make the wise choice. I know right now, we're only with our families, but soon we're going to get to be around our friends again or our teammates. And when we're around our friends, we need to listen to the Bible more than we listen to what our friends say around us. We need to make the good choices and not the bad choices. And when we listen to the Bible, we will go far. So don't give in to temptation like eating too much candy this week. I want you to think about that as we sing and worship together. I hope that you have a great week and not give in to temptation.
You're not a figment of my imagination, You're not a fairy tale, you're not make-believe. You came from heaven to be the friend that I can always count on, Hear me shouting out, Jesus is better than any superhero. Jesus is my best friend. Whoa, whoa. Jesus is better than any superhero. Jesus is my best friend. Whoa, whoa. You are the hero. You are the good guy. You are the savior. And I know that you're always gonna be there. Yeah, you're always gonna be there. When I'm in danger, when I'm in trouble, when I'm surrounded, well, I know that it's you that I can count on, that I can always count on. Hear me shouting out, Jesus is better than any superhero. Jesus is my best friend. Whoa, whoa. Jesus is better than any superhero. Jesus is my best friend. Whoa, whoa.
Stronger than Superman, faster than the Flash, bigger than the Hulkman. Jesus, what a friend! Stronger than Superman, faster